think really we're in the early innings of the capacity crunch. It is absolutely coming on. We're starting to see a lot more tightness in the market right now, and it's being driven by a couple different factors. I think the capacity shortage is being driven by sheer demographics. 1 in 6 truck drivers is currently over the age of 55. It's being driven by the fact that the economy is legitimately coming back with a lot less lumpiness than it has over the past, call it 18 months. So there's some predictability and some stability in the economy, and that's starting to consume some capacity. Then you're seeing the effects of things like CSA, and you're starting to see the effects potentially down the road of things like electronic onboard recorders and what that might do to productivity. So the net of all that is that there is a lot less capacity in the marketplace than there was just 12 months ago, and that 12 months from now we would probably be in the middle of the worst capacity crisis that we've seen as an industry, really since the beginning of the industry. We think that CSA is a major factor going forward in this industry. We think that the ability to attract and retain drivers is going to be one of the key success factors for carriers as they go forward, because CSA is going to keep people from driving that really shouldn't be driving. We think that a lot of carriers are going to be forced to purge some of their worst performing drivers, at least worst performing in terms of their CSA scores, consequently lowering the number of carriers that's available in the pool and giving other carriers new criterion on which they can choose drivers potentially to come drive for them. So we think that the driver universe is going to shrink as a result of CSA, and that will ultimately become one of the biggest drivers of success for carriers in whether or not they're able to fill customer demand as we move forward. But the reality is, in this cycle, we've seen more customers probably more primed than ever before. Not that they like rate increases, but they're at least more cognizant of the fact that they have to come in order for their supply base to remain viable. And you see a lot of carriers now talking about expanding, a lot of shippers rather, expanding out their carrier base and trying to figure out how they're going to get freight covered, particularly into the summer and fall of this year, and I think well into 2012. We might have a long-haul driver who comes in, finishes up at one of our service centers, our operating centers within 9 hours of his work day. He's got hours left over. We can actually go out and deploy that asset, both the driver and the tractor-trailer combination, into a regional move or a cartage move to help ensure that that driver stays as productive as possible. We get him or her the most hours and the most miles that are humanly possible, and then in turn avoid putting more trucks out on the road if we can do that by just rounding out their day and getting them into regional fleets at the end of their regular long-haul runs. The double stack product that we introduced in 2010 is really a great innovation to help customers maximize their available truck space. So we saw a lot of customers who had freight that was not weighing out a truck, but because it couldn't be stacked, were in essence cubing out the bottom of the truck but not able to do the top. And we wanted to create something with our customers that would operate in dedicated lanes of operations. These aren't just free-flowing out in the network. This is an engineered route. We have to make sure that there's a head haul and a back haul that's balanced. And by doing this, what we're able to do is, in essence, give people double the truck for nearly the same price. We have a small portion of our fleet that's owner-operators. We are, however, making a big push for owner-operators in 2011. The shift to owner-operators is a strategic choice that enables us to grow the fleet without being as asset-intensive and still give owner-operators what they want, which is obviously the sense of ownership, the sense of pride in what they do, the stability that comes with the miles that a company like Conway can bring for them, and a network of service centers and fueling stations that can give them the ability to run their business more effectively than they have been able to in the past.